Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, and for the second week in a row, Kristen Hartnett from our chamber, Manager of Membership.
Hello, Suzette.
Nice to see you again, Kristen.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you so much for pinch hitting for Tricia Walsh these last couple of weeks. She does deserve a little bit of a break.
Yes.
So what's going on?
So the Mystic Chamber and the Westerly Pawcatuck Chamber are working together in June. We're having a Great Gatsby Gala. So that dress you've been saving is
from the Great Gatsby?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, Kristen, I am old, but not that old, honey. But I will come up with a dress. I assume I'll come up with a dress.
Very exciting theme. So we're very excited about that particular collaboration and that event. It's going to be at the mansion at the Inn at Mystic. So
fantastic.
Newly renovated property and always good for Mystic. So
yeah, right. The Harbor House, way in the back there. A lot of functions, you know, always occurred there, and I'm so glad that it's been renovated and as we move forward. And membership is going well, I hear.
Membership is going well.
Right.
Relationships equal revenue, yes.
Fantastic.
And so our networking programs are a great way to meet people and get into the community and learn about other businesses. You might not have a lawyer that you know, but if you come to a networking event, all of a sudden you know a lawyer, you know an architect, you know Suzette.
Well, of course, and as far as that lawyer, it just depends if you need him or her for a closing or other things, but we can provide that service. And speaking of great members,
yes,
you know, it's across the board with us. You know, we have everything from lawyers, doctors, a financial advisor, jewelers. But have you ever experienced a member, Tom Vignato from Fields of Fire?
Paintball.
Paintball. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you for having me. This is good.
I am personally very excited about
this
particular economic development in Mystic.
Exactly. You know, Kristen takes care of Mystic Matters and the production, and so, you know, she always keeps Tricia and I on schedule. And when I got the email, I said, okay, this is going to be a different show. So, Tom, welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me.
So for the first, at least, few seconds, what in the did you come up with this idea? Well, how did you come up with this idea?
Interesting story. I've been in the hotel business for 20 years. Started when I worked out in Las Vegas, lived out there from 93 to 2003. Moved up here and got into Mohegan Sun and worked there as a hotel manager for 9 years. All the while I'm working there, Saturday morning it was my job to greet guests as they come down off the elevator. And as I'm going about, you know, my routine, you'd get, I mean, literally hundreds of families on a nice weather day in the summer come down the elevator, and they say, hey, what's there to do around here? And I'd say, oh, we'll go down to Mystic, go to the aquarium and the seaport. And they say, yeah, we did that. We did that last time. What else is there? What else is there? So I said, well, you can go to Newport, and now I'm starting to have to work to come up with ideas for these people. So in the back of my head, I always said, hey, there's a need for outdoor recreation for families. So I had always said, hey, you know, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to, you know, we love it around here, love it in the Mystic area, so I'm going to, you know, make a go of something fun. And lo and behold, the economy went bad. I found myself without a job and sat down with my wife and said, hey, what do you think? He said, let's do something outside, you know, that we can bring people in, camping or, you know, zip lines and this and that. And I said, well, you know, what else what could be an easier way to start? Where we didn't have a ton of money. We had a 401k that I had and a little bit of investments, but we couldn't just go and buy a big building or do some, you know. So I had a certain circumstance where I needed to be able to get the most out of the little bit of money I had. So I had applied for a loan, and they loved my business plan. I put up a business plan. I spent about 6 months working on it. Talked to paintball field owners all over the country. And the reason we came up with paintball is as I'm sitting there racking my brain as to what to do, I'm watching my son play Call of Duty on this PlayStation. And he's there, and he's on with the headset with his friends, and they're just, you can't even talk to them. They're just
How old
glued.
is your son at the time?
At the time, he's 12.
Okay. All right. Great age.
Right.
Great age.
Yep. So he's totally into it, and you know, it's a beautiful day, and these guys are playing Call of Duty, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, if you could only harness this somehow, you know, and so that kind of led to, hey, what about paintball? I had played paintball maybe 5 or 6 times growing up, and I remember loving it.
Were you good at it?
You know, not really. I've never had my own gear. You don't.
I got Tom. I just got him for a few seconds there.
You know, I'm still not good at it. I own a park.
They say if you can't do, you teach.
Yeah.
So I know that.
Exactly. Exactly. I think that's great.
They're calling you out, Tom.
Yeah. So the idea was, hey, you know, paintball is really cool because now you don't have to buy a building. You don't have to really do much. You just let the people play in the woods. You have to buy the gear. All right, we could, you know, that's part of the budget. We can afford that. We start small and get more as the people come. So it worked out, and we decided, we said, all right, you know, I think we're going to make a run of paintball.
Now, Call of Duty is not just popular with 12-year-olds. My husband prefers Call of Duty as well.
Video games. We don't say that on.
He's playing it right now.
We know all we need to know about Kristen's husband.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic.
It's addicting. It's really addicting, and it's the adrenaline you get on the video games. What we wanted to do is, I said, all right, you know, we'll start small, but you start looking at these, you know, you watch the video game and you go, hey, we could build something like that outside and make it almost a realistic version of it. So that kind of got the wheels turning. So we put a business plan together, talked to paintball parks all over the country. It was really great that the owners of these parks were very helpful and forthcoming with their information. Here I am in Mystic, Connecticut. I'm talking to people in Pennsylvania and Texas and California. I'm no threat to them. So they're going to say, yeah, you know, you're interested in opening a park? This is what I did. I would never do this again. This I would do instead. So I was able to get all of these experts to say, do this, don't do this. So I wrote it all down, kept track of it all, put a really good business plan together, and went to a local bank, and applied for a loan. And I had to go in and really go into detail because nobody's financed a paintball park before anywhere around
and
here.
in this area, there's nothing to compare it to.
Right.
It's not another retail front.
Right. So I went in there and I'm pitching my whole idea, and I'm like, we're going to take Call of Duty and make it real, and we're going to get, you know, airplane fuselages and have them crash into the ground, and then put bunkers up and sandbags, and we're going to pipe in artillery fire so that when you're playing, you're going to think, you know, and I'm trying to paint the visual, and they were really into it. And they said, we think this is great, you know. So lucky enough, I was able to get a loan and had to find a piece of property. So again, you know, you don't have enough money to buy a piece, so now I'm looking to lease a large piece of wooded property. And that actually was one of the biggest struggles. We had 3 locations that were handshake deals prior to the one where we settled on. Something kept for. One was in Waterford, one was in North Stonington, one was in Ledyard. And they all fell through for whatever different reason. And then I found myself with a loan, an approved loan, but not a piece of property.
Now,
can't close on the loan until you have the property.
Right.
So here's the bank saying, here's your money, come take it. And now I can't find a piece of property.
Right.
Do you feel, because now, I mean, you're right off the highway. You can see his sign as you're driving on the highway. So the visibility.
Think that you can't see the sign?
Yeah.
I was just
Do you think, Kristen, that you can't see the sign?
You can see the sign everywhere. And what I was wondering is if you eventually, when you found that property, you thought, oh, I'm glad that all this other stuff didn't work out.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was almost, you know,
It's a perfect piece of
they
property,
say destiny or whatever. I'm not big into spiritualism or whatever,
Yeah.
but somebody said, hey, these other 3 properties, you don't want them. Meanwhile, I'm going, why not? Why not? But this one is half a mile from my house. Unbelievable visibility. And the best part is the neighbors, you know, paintball could be distracting to neighbors. You could have issues if you own a paintball park next to a neighborhood. And we don't have one. We don't have a neighborhood anywhere near us. We have the highway to the north.
Woods like this.
We have the farm across the street. We have more woods to the south, and then town property behind us. So we're really insulated. So we have no issues. We've never had one complaint. We've been open now 2 years. No complaints at all. And so it's working out. My wife was really a trooper, supported me the whole thing. You know, she likes to know what to expect. And here we are.
Right, a paycheck every.
Right.
A lot of wives do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know,
I mean, I think, you know, Tom, with you and with all of us that own our small business, of course, mine's, you know, almost 30 years old now, but I've been there, done that. Get the loan and then say, okay, now what? I mean, with us, with a jewelry store, It's where do you place that jewelry store? And people say there's a lot of empty spots in Mystic, Connecticut, but 30 years ago there weren't. And it doesn't matter where the spots are. The location is very important for your business. For instance, a jewelry store can't be in the middle of the woods. So location, location,
Right.
location. But hands off to you and your family and your wife for really perseverance and believing in your dream. And here it is 2 years later, and you've got a fabulous business. So just for the visitors and the viewers that don't know, what is paintball? I mean, I want to tell you, when Tom came to the area, and of course as a Mystica Chamber advisor, I had to say, oh, somebody's going to walk into my store and say, is there a paintball park around here? And I got to find out. And so I had to actually do some research. But this is not just for children.
No, not at all.
Okay, so tell us, right in front, if you could just do us a favor and just explain, we've got sort of the equipment in front of our area
Right.
here. So first thing first is safety.
Yep, safety. So
Okay.
what your first question was, what is paintball?
Yes.
Paintball is a combination of hide and seek, capture the flag, and probably those two. Hide and seek
Okay.
and capture the
Yep.
flag.
Yep.
So it's a really, really fun game. What you do is you get a paintball gun that's filled with little, I can show you guys
Right.
everything. Can I
Whoops.
walk around here?
Yeah, you
Careful,
watch your mic.
Jake.
Yep, just bring it over to you. Yep, that's fantastic.
All right, so here's a paintball gun. Air tank right here. Gun. The hopper here holds your paintballs. I've got paintballs in here.
Do you need me to hold that?
thing strapped
Yeah.
to your? Oh! Watch where you're pointing that, Missy.
There's a barrel sleeve on there.
I'm sorry about those remarks before the show.
I'm a good shot, Kristen. I'm a good shot.
Here,
Yeah.
a couple for you.
Behave.
Paintball. Okay.
Give her a couple.
Here you go, honey. Okay.
So
They're like little marbles or
They're
like
little
gumballs.
marbles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
you-
I just want to say that everybody, this matches me anyway. So this is green and yellow,
Yeah.
and they are marble effect.
you can eat them.
What?
No, you can't.
You know that
Don't.
Tom. You know he.
Don't fall for that.
We,
How many do you put in there?
This will hold 200.
Okay.
So what you do at the beginning of the game is you come in, and you can come in with a group or you can come in individually, and we will put you in with other people.
Okay.
We put teams together based on experience. So if you've never played, we'll put you in with other people who've never played so that you're not getting destroyed by the
Yeah.
pros. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So it works out. So you come in, you get a full safety briefing. You get your equipment. So you would get a paintball gun with an air tank and a hopper
Each of
full
you
of
has a paintball gun.
Yep. Each of
Okay.
you gets a gun. You get a face mask, which is something like this right here.
Yep. Let's hold that up. So.
Yeah. The biggest danger
like
in
the
paintball is
you
getting
go, right
shot
there.
in the face or in the eye. So that's why
okay,
the
so there you go,
mask
Kristen.
has to be worn at all times.
Perfect. Yep.
Right? It's
Perfect.
kind of comfortable,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It is actually. It's
As you
not
try
bad.
to
Yeah.
fit your glasses.
Yeah. And that can be fitted, right?
Yep,
In the back, too?
absolutely.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So now, you.
I am your father.
He's good.
Okay.
Looks great.
This paintball gun is set to shoot 300 feet per second. So
Wait a minute. Let's 300 feet per second.
that's the
Okay.
velocity of the paintball that comes out.
Okay.
We adjust
wow.
them so they can't be going faster than that. So this air tank is enough to shoot about 400 rounds. So you've got 200 paintballs in
in there,
here.
but
You've got enough air to fill this up twice. So usually what we do is you come in, we give you a paintball gun, we give you a mask, and we give you an ammo belt, which I didn't bring with me. But
So
you
that's
get,
all
you get two sleeves of extra paintballs.
Okay.
So you've got an extra 200. You have an extra 400. So you've got 6 hopperfuls on you when you start your
Well,
game.
that makes more sense because when I was reading the website, I was thinking 200. Like that's
Yeah.
spent. Like the first 10 minutes, I'm done.
right.
Right.
Just from trying it out, just from being like, oh look, I can do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yep. So now we also have a chest protector for somebody who's a little, wimpy.
Now, Tom, this is
Or nervous.
Right.
You know what's funny
Right.
is
I'm
This
a
is
little
right
wimpy.
here.
I'm
Yeah.
a little nervous.
at the beginning of the
this up.
game, most people say, yeah, I want a chest protector, and they play one game and they go, all right, we don't need that chest
Right.
protector.
Right.
So we have it there. It's when we have girls and
Well, they want to feel protected.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So you get all the gear, you get on, we do a full safety briefing, so we go over all the rules. The rules are you have to keep your mask on at all times. You cannot shoot over our netting. We have netting up all over the place, thousands of feet of netting. designed to keep the paintballs on the field. So you can't shoot over the netting. You can't shoot within 20 feet of somebody. So we don't want anybody to get shot within close range. So you have to, your mask is on. Your referees are monitoring all of our games. So referee calls a game. Referee will go out, and once you make your teams, so let's say there's 10 people in your group. 5 against 5. So you'd be the red team, you'd be the blue team. We put a penny on you like a scrimmage jersey from school, red and blue. So you would walk out onto one of our different fields. The red team would go to one end, the blue team goes to the other end. The referee's in the middle. So everybody's ready. They got their mask on. They're ready to go. And the referee says, "Okay, blue team ready, red team ready. 3, 2, 1, go." And now the game starts. And we have a bunch of different varieties of game. The most common is capture the flag. So we'll put a flag in the center of the field, and both teams charge, and they're trying to get that flag before the other team. Now, if you just run up to get the flag, someone's going to shoot you, and you're going to be out.
Right.
Now,
so you have
if
to
someone
take cover.
shoots you, you're out.
You're out. Exactly.
Right.
You get hit. Paintball
Yeah.
breaks on you. You're
Yep.
out.
It's
You're
not
out
like
of
your
that game.
endurance or like how many paintballs
No.
you take.
No.
It's the shot's right at you. I mean,
That's why it appeals to everybody. You don't have
Yeah.
to be in shape. You don't have to be athletic. Anybody can play paintball, regardless of your age. So if it's a capture the flag game, the teams will get cover, and then they will slowly eliminate each other until there's one person or a couple people left, and they can grab the flag and get it back to their home base. And that's when the game ends. Referee then blows his whistle. All right, game's over. Maybe the blue team might have won that one. And then you come back in. Your game's over. You come back into the staging area, we refresh your ammo, check your air, you get a drink of water, and then the ref says, "Okay, we're going to go out to this other field in 5 minutes." So,
Oh, so like
that's what
another
you do.
course.
You rotate going through all of our different fields.
So how many fields, Tom? I mean, I've seen it from sort of a distance, but how many fields are on that acreage? I mean,
We've got 50 acres.
50 acres.
That's quite
okay.
a bit of land. That's great.
50 acres. Right now we've got 6 playing fields. Plus we have 6 small fields, and then we have what we call our big game field, which is the big woods in the back. That's about a 40-acre field, just in one big game.
You can accommodate up to 140 people in one game?
Actually, that's how much rental gear we have. We had a game last year where we had over 400 players, and that was on our big game.
Sakes.
That's
That
our
must have
signature
taken-
game for our field. Is we take advantage of our location. We do Yankee fans versus Red Sox fans.
Yeah.
In paintball.
Oh, yeah.
And that by far is
It's the biggest, right,
It sells
okay.
itself because now you
Right.
get all these people coming in, and we try to make sure that the teams are even. The problem is if you're a Yankee fan and the Red Sox fan needs players, and we go, "Hey, can you play for the Red Sox?" Nobody wants to do that because
Right.
their heart's in it.
They say team players, but they're really not.
Right.
It's for their team.
Right.
Right.
So it's tough to make sure the sides are equal on that game. Usually it's easy. You just go, "You guys play on this side, nobody really cares."
That's funny.
but
Now, you
yeah,
also
so
do
we've got-
fundraisers for...
We do. Yep, we're open regular weekends, Saturday and Sunday. We'll open any time of the week for a group of 8 or more. You just got to call us, tell us what time you want to come out. We'll open for you. We do a lot of fundraisers for a bunch of different
Organizations?
Yep.
Yep.
We do the Boys and Girls Club. We do a bunch of stuff with them. We did a mud run. We've done them 3 times now. We do a mud run for them, which is great. It's a 5K mud run through our property. A lot of fun. First year, the biggest group we had was over almost 600 people that came and participated.
Wow.
Boys and Girls Club got all the proceeds. We did a haunted zombie hunt last year, which was great. So we had people dressed up as zombies, and we give people paintball guns. They go out and they have to fight off the zombies and get to the helicopter.
To me, this sounds like such the biggest adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
But a fun adrenaline rush.
Absolutely.
So Tom, you've got such an exciting job. What is the biggest misconception about paintball? If you had to pick one, what is the biggest
The
misconception?
biggest misconception is that it's violent, and that it's sometimes you'll have parents that'll come in and say, "Oh no, I don't want my kids near guns," and you kind of got to explain it. And once they see what it's all
Right.
about, we let them watch the games. If you just come into our staging area, you can just come in and watch. It doesn't cost you a thing. You come in, just watch, see how it goes, and you'll see that it's really fun. It's not threatening at all. It's part of that's the biggest misconception, is the fact that there's
And
guns and it's violent and it's
Right.
hate. So I hate you and I'm going to, it's not that at all. It's,
I wanted
it's
to
really,
address
really
that
fun.
a little bit, Tom, because I think this is such, I mean, number one, in the environment that we are in today, I wanted to address that, and Kristen and I had talked about that a little bit. But what you've got here is family fun of all ages.
Right.
And I think if you come and just visit Tom's property and just be a spectator, like he said, for free, you're going to find out that kids and young adults can get hurt on the football field more than they can get hurt
Without a doubt.
on the paintball field. So just to get it out there, Tom has been very, very good to the community and also to the chamber. And we want to make sure that people understand that the violent connotation certainly not there. When it's done, number one, as much safety as possible. There are trained adults that look over this property,
Right.
certainly referee, and that there are many organizations like the Boys and Girls Club who can attest to this wonderful organization and actual business that you have over here in Mystic. I will tell you that a couple of years ago, like I mentioned previously, I had to just get online and talking to Tricia Walsh, and I said, what? And Jim Bates, I said, where? And I said, who? And I said, how? And so we as a community certainly are very grateful that you're there. But you're not just staying there. You've got other things in the works, don't you, Tom?
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell us about the future?
Okay. We've got 50 acres, so there's tons of space. And the fact that it's the visibility that we have along the highway is really valuable. The problem is you can't play paintball near the highway.
Right.
So we had to we have to have a buffer between the actual highway itself and where you can play paintball. So when you drive past, if you see our netting, that's as close as you can get. But there's 100 feet of space between the two that's completely the most valuable property on the site, but we can't play there. So I said, all right, what can we do to take advantage of this unbelievably valuable property and the location, so the visibility. So we're going to do something that's just starting to make its way into the United States. There's about 30 or so of these courses. It's an aerial adventure park is what you call it. So if you have no idea what that means, if you Google aerial adventure park, you'll see really what it is. It's a combination of zip lines, and you basically take an obstacle course and you elevate it into the trees. So you build. You get suitable trees, and we've got thousands of them, and you build platforms on these trees. So you could be 20 or 30 feet up. You're building a platform, a small size of a pallet. You know, it's a landing spot for you. So you get up and you get harnessed.
It's a treehouse patio.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. So you're going to get up, you're going to get harnessed in, and you're going to go and you're going to challenge yourself on an aerial adventure park. And what we're building is we're building a 5-course park. So it could be very similar to ski slopes. So, you got the green circles is easy,
right.
the square, the blue is intermediate.
Yeah.
Then you got your black diamond. We're going to build 2 of each, and then we're going to let you go up, and you're going to basically, it's a self-guided tour, but you're now 30, 40 feet off the tree.
Can you imagine
and
what
you're,
you could see
you're,
up there?
you're
What are you
negotiating.
going to wear? That's what I want to know. What are you going to wear when you're up in the tree?
Well, much to my dismay, you're not allowed to combine paintball and the aerial park.
Oh, the zip line.
Oh,
Sure,
darn!
you're
I
allowed.
would just want to be up there and.
So unless we do some work to our waiver, I don't think that's going to happen.
yeah.
Now, that's
But
gonna
that's what it
be
is.
the
It's an
next-
aerial adventure park, and it's going to,
fantastic.
for any of
Yeah.
the people who are a little squeamish about paintball, and we kind of saw that. We saw, again, when I started paintball, I assumed, and maybe I assumed incorrectly, that we would get more families. Mm-hmm. And what you see is, especially tourist families, they come into Mystic, and they've got a very short window where they have a weekend. They have 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the father probably works a ton. The mom's doing her thing. The kids are in school. The mom says, we're going to Mystic for a family vacation.
Mm-hmm.
They get here, and they've only got 2 days, and they want to spend it together. So then they come up. They're ready to play paintball. They come in. They don't know what it's all about. They come in. They see what it's about. They see the people in our staging area, And then the mom and the daughter usually look at each other and go, we really don't want to do this. So of course the mom, my house, my wife makes all the rules. So if she doesn't want to do it, we're not doing it. So in
I
which
like
case
your
they
wife,
then
and I
turn
don't even know
around
her.
and they say, you know what, we're not on the same
Let's go
page.
shopping.
Let's go do something else.
Yeah.
So what I want to build is something that appeals to that group. So this aerial park is a game changer. This thing will be.
And when is it due, Tom?
Well, we still got a couple more hoops to jump through,
Right.
but the plan is to begin construction middle of April, so 2 weeks, and then be open by the time the kids get out of school in mid-June. So it's a two-month build, and if all goes well, we will be open in the middle of June.
Well, let's just make sure, Kristen, we're there to do a wonderful ribbon cutting for Tom.
Ribbon cutting and
And
participation.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, Tom, real quick, we only have a few minutes. This went faster than I even thought it would go. But is your business seasonal?
It is.
Okay, because
it's
of the
seasonal,
outdoors. Okay.
and we're trying to work on things to make it not be so, because
Okay.
this winter in particularly
Was pretty tough.
pretty tough.
Yeah, pretty
Last
brutal.
year we played paintball through the winter. The attendance goes way down. You get some smaller groups. They're really hardcore people that want to play.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to do things that make it not so seasonal, because. For the locals alone, you want to. Everybody's got cabin fever come February, so
Right. So
you're
you wanna
dying
be
to get
out there.
So we're going to try to do some stuff maybe to make it not so seasonal.
Right. Well, Tom, we really appreciate your visionary. We appreciate your wife and your family for putting up with you, if I could say that on TV here. But just for everybody to know, it's for small business people, we rely on you, all the viewers out there, and I hope that Tom this evening captured what his business is all about. Get your families out there. In a couple of months, you're going to get those girls out there to do the little zip line. If anything, girls, just take a picture of your brother and your father and your mother on the zip line and go play some paintball. But we really appreciate it, Tom, that you're in our organization and you're part of our community. We wish you all the luck. Kristen, myself, and Tricia will be there. She's saying participating and doing all the good things to help Tom and get the word out there. So, Tom Vignato, we really appreciate it.
Well, thank you
your
very much.
creativity and your entrepreneurship. Kristen, I thank you very much for co-hosting these last couple of weeks.
Thank you, Suzette.
And I know I'll be co-hosting with you somewhere down the line as we give Tricia and Walsh a little bit of break. And just for everybody, we want to say a little hello and goodbye to Jim Bates out there. I want to give a little, Tom's got some scoop on you that I want to touch base with you real soon. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, Mystic Matters. Good evening.
Good evening.